everyone, and welcome back to Behind the Stanzas, where we dive deep behind the stanzas. Get to know some of these poets that you know, love, introduce you to some new poets to love. So let's get it. You guys feel free to come into the room, Feel free to share this on your page because I'm sure we're in for some pretty dope poetry on tonight. So I'm gonna give y'all a chance to go ahead and share it on your page. While I do the same thing, I'm sharing it out, tag a friend that needs to hear some dope poetry on tonight. Some female, I love female poets. Like
Yes.
it's just something about females, women empowerment here, collaboration, hearing
Yes.
what you got to say to the world. Go ahead and share this out. I'm sharing this out, and then we can get started. And you guys know me. I'm your host, Nicki D, the poet. I'm nothing but a former shy girl who found her voice through poetry and now uses my poetry, to help others find their voice. And I have to the right of me, I don't know what she is on your screen, but she is my right. I had the phenomenal poet, Shaylisha Boyd. Give it
Yes. My name is Shaylisha Boyd. My stage name is Poetic Peach, spoken word artist, writer, creator, poet. I've been writing poetry since I was about 13 to 14 years old. Started off as little diary entries, writing songs, but then it got more personal for me as I grew older, and it became something more deeper for me. And that's where I am here today now. So I've been performing for the past 3 years, ongoing 3 years. So I just got myself out there. I'm just ready to take my poetry to another level, do something different with it, inspire other women, inspire other young girls that writing can really save your life and can really do some things for you and heal you emotionally and mentally. So that's what poetry is for me.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So, you started like I know many poets have started, with journal entries. So, what made you take that leap from writing in your journal entries to being like, hey, I actually want to perform this to public in a public setting? Because that's a big difference between writing poetry in your bedroom, thinking no one's going to hear it, than actually standing on the stage and putting your heart for people to see in those like 2 to 3 minutes.
Yes. So how it started off when I was writing the poetry in my diary and journal entries, it was because okay, I felt as I didn't have anyone to trust that I could, vent things to.
Mhm.
So when I would write in my diary, it was like, okay, I'm putting it in here, I'm letting it go. But then it was like, no, I'm still holding on to it. So when I perform the poetry, it's like, okay, I'm letting it go. Those
Mhm.
emotions I dealt with, I read, you can re-edit it and rewrite and add things to it. But it's like when you speak it, it makes it more real, and then you can heal from things. Like when you speak your truth.
Yes.
So
Yes, because
that's
there
where it
is
got
power.
me.
It's power in the tongue.
Yes. And your voice, yes.
Yes. What if you had to summarize like your overall message? Because I know we, as poets, you touch on certain topics,
Yes.
a lot of different topics. But if you had to summarize your overall message for the viewer, what would that message be?
For my poetry, it's raw poetry, raw emotion. I'm not, it's my truth. So it's unedited, it's unfiltered. This is how I speak my truth. And, I don't think, oh, this may offend someone. This is my story and this is how I get it across. So with me, it's raw poetry. And like I said, it's a healing journal for me, poetry. So the big message would be just write, express, speak. Speak your truth, write your truth.
I love it. Now, do you have a piece that you would like to share?
Oh yes, I have tons of pieces. So going back into how I was saying that how I started my poetry was because I wanted to vent and get my emotions across, not feeling that I was able to trust anyone to really say what I really want to say. So
Mm-hmm.
I wrote this piece. It's called Conscious Confessions.
Oh, I love that title.
When you can't tell your story without criminalizing others, and some people wonder why beautiful butterflies still try to fly, but their wings don't flutter. What lies beneath the secrets of a black sheep? Lost souls searching for answers that the preacher preached. She lies under the rug where the dirt was swept. She cries away the pain like when Jesus wept. The pain from constant strain of emotion neglect. Through her eyes, you're mesmerized as the hurt reflects. Tell me why I can't deny all the hate I felt. Only time will heal my wounds, so I let it melt. If I died before my time, you would never guess. I was waiting to hit the wood to finally lay to rest. No bunks up in my casket, so I'm never pressed. How people love you today, tomorrow love you less. How people leave at your worst and expect your best. Then I can't recall a time that the pain was less. Shameless beauty on the outside, but inside I'm a mess. Screaming from the inside, let the real peach protest. Tongue tied, so all I say is less. I lift my pride to say I tried, damn, I gave my best. I am Poetic Peach.
I love it. I love your whole like rhythm. I love your your
Thank
flow,
you.
and I love your ending, letting them know
Thank
like, listen,
you.
this is Poetic Peach.
Yes.
Okay, and what
Yes.
inspired that piece?
It was like I said, like a little event, and it was like I really wanted to let people know that, I'm coming with my story.
Mm-hmm.
Things may have been swept under the rug, generational curses, family secrets. It was basically putting power to my tongue and starting to speak my truth. And as you know, in the beginning of my poem, as it said, when you can't tell your story without criminalizing others,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so it's more for a way for me to vent and feel safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Poetry is all about creating that safe space to in order to tell your story. Can you walk us through your first open mic experience and what was that and what was that like and how did you overcome that initial freeze fright? Because I know when I first did my show, when I first did my first time performing was me doing an actual poetry show. I don't know why.
Okay.
And I know I was panicking in the bathroom right before they called me. So,
Yeah.
what was your experience like?
Oh my gosh, it was high anxiety. I had actually went to like a comedy and poet show with one of my girlfriends, and they were doing an open mic sign up. So, I'm just sitting there, I got my drink, I'm just enjoying
The
doing the
atmosphere.
show. And she comes over and she's like, I signed you up. I'm like, you
Uh oh.
signed me up. So I'm like, the next 2 minutes I hear my name called and they're
Uh-huh.
saying, Poetic Peach to the stage. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I just got it. I was like, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. And I have like social anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, if I get on this stage, but then I just got up there and I was just like, I took it in as I'm just writing and venting to myself and I just let go. And
Right.
then when you hear, how you're performing and you hear the feedback from the audience and
Mm-hmm.
then you're like, okay.
Yeah,
And
hype
then
you up.
things
You
go
get into your
deeper
bag.
into, yeah. So it was like and so that's when I got that feeling. I was like, okay, I'm where God wants me to be, right here. Because it was a different feeling when I got up on that stage. And had she not, signed me up, I don't know if I would have took, the opportunity at that
See,
moment.
that's why
But
we need friends like this in our life. That's gonna give
definitely,
us that push when they know we just
definitely.
gonna be not gonna be wanting to push.
Yeah, so
Let's talk
shout out
about
to
your
her.
stage name, Poetic Peach. How did you come up with that name?
Well, Peach is actually my nickname. And I always feel like, I'm everything about me is poetic. I write songs, I write stories.
Mm-hmm.
How I speak and communicate with my friends sometimes, it always ends up in some type of poem or poetry. So I just put that in front of my nickname. Shaylisha, everyone knows me, Shaylisha, the nurse, the mother, the dancer. But
Mm-hmm.
Peach is like, my fun side, my artist side, my
Yeah.
creator side. So, that's just a part of Peach, the poetic part. So Poetic Peach.
Now, see, you talked about the two names. You talked about Leash, and then you talk about Peach.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for me, sometimes I have Nicole, or Cole, and then I have Nicki D. So,
Uh-huh.
how do you keep the artist Poetic Peach different from Leash?
I would say Peach is someone that I keep more personal with me. So that's
Mhm.
like my like okay. When I'm Shaylisha, I gotta be, business as usual. I got this, and
Mhm.
that to do. But when I'm Peach, it's like, okay, this is me inside out. You know what I'm trying to say? Like this is the real me where I can enjoy
Yeah.
me, my talents, my crafts, still my dreams, still digging to me. So I need that. I need the Peach with Shaylisha. I need both of them together. Because
Yeah.
Shaylisha's an introvert. When I get to be Poetic Peach, I get to stand and speak before people. They get to understand me. I get to
Mhm.
speak my raw emotions so they can understand me more than if I'm just business as usual, Shaylisha.
I love it. Do you have another piece that you would like to share with us on tonight?
I do have a piece I would like to share with you guys. This one was I performed with Voices in Power in Philadelphia. And for the month we were speaking on mental health.
Shout out to Voices in Power. I love them. I haven't been in
Yes,
a while, but Voices in Power was literally the first open mic that I went to. She'll shout them out.
definitely. Shout out to them for that. So I did a piece for them. It's called State of Mind. So I like to do that for you tonight. Okay. Mentally, I'm drowned in confusion. The grip on reality I'm losing. No control over my emotions. A beautiful disaster. Who am I fooling? Feeding my ego while starving my pride. Drowning the negative thoughts in my head with affirmations. Trying to resurface because I'm hurting inside. I can't sleep at night. Constantly tossing and turning. Alert of discernment. Trapped in conviction. Low souls in my body from sexual circumstances that's unforgiving. Don't jump to conclusions. Just slow down and listen. Emotionally scorned from childhood misfortunes. Regretful tears confronting fears. Depression set in for many years. Misled, strung along, used and abused. Still dealing from whole wounds I can't get in tune. Heavy blues. At times I don't care what I have to lose. This is where anxiety turns to aggression and depression is a cruel dude. The pressures of life will have you ready to go dumb. I'm no fool. Mentally, I'm drowned in confusion. I don't know where I stand. I mean, I have a plan or had the plan to plan, plans didn't land. Mentally, I'm drowned in confusion. Abused, misused, neglected, rejected, untamed, insane. It's just a few to name. My mind is like endless time, it just keeps going and going. Full speed, no breaks, just breakdowns. A lot to take me now. It's so hard staying afloat. With heavy mental currents pulling me down, rock the boat. I'm on an emotional roller coaster. I can't withstand the ride. I can't keep my thoughts straight with depression as my main man and anxiety as my side. Destruction on standby. Nonetheless, this overpowering stress, weight gain, weight loss, heavy bags under my eyes. I'm a mess. It's certain buttons on me you can't press. I'm not pressed, just relax, I digest. Mental issue is a real issue, it needs more press. Check on your strong friends. I'm not at home in my own mind, I'm a guest. This is my truth, yes, I confess. My own mentality is bullying me, but I'm no punk. I just want to get rid of this trauma, get rid of the baggage, stand firm in my truth, touch base with my inner savage, grow wherever I'm lacking, express my feelings and concerns without them feeling I'm attacking, pick up wherever I'm dragging. I'm emotionally damaged, yet I'm surviving. I'm not perfect, yet I'm learning that none of this is deserving. And if I want to survive life and feel alive, I have to strive. Praying this poetry frees my mind so I'm no longer held hostage of this mental suicide state of mind. I am Poetic Peach. State of mind.
Wow, that was a mouthful. It was so many lines. I don't even know. Wait, I don't know where to
Thank
begin.
you.
You said like anxiety turned into aggression.
And
Can you say that?
depression is a
Can
cruel.
you say that line? Just repeat that line because I don't.
Anxiety turns into aggression, and depression is a cruel dude. The pressures of life will have you ready to go dumb. I'm no fool.
Like that line right there, because a lot of people don't understand the anxiety can turn into
Yes,
aggression, lead to the like they don't
yes,
understand the trickling effect that it has.
yes. The
And people
trickling
are out
effect.
here every day really dealing with anxiety, but have nowhere to turn to.
Right. Nowhere, no one to turn to. But I'm telling you, there's so much power in writing. There's so much power just to put your truth down and speak it, even if you just speak it to yourself, so that you
Hmm.
can start the healing journey. And like I said, our talents and our gifts are not for us. God gave us these to bless and help other people. So someone needs to hear my story. Like someone needs to hear your story. Just in this the formation that I'm doing and speaking it. This is the way I can give back through my words. There's power in
Right.
your words. You just gotta use them the right way. Because I can use these words to help heal, or I can use these words to hurt and damage.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
used to use my truth, raw and raw formation, and just speak through poetry. Poetry is not dead.
It is definitely not.
Poetry is not dead.
Poetry is anything but that. Poetry has had such a dynamic effect on the past and the future, that is going to help shape young minds because of poets like you, that females will find themselves in your stanza, because some people may be out there, no, may be angry and they have no idea why they're angry, but they're angry because of their anxiety. So that
Mhm.
is going to I know my pieces, I love like when people have conversations about my pieces. I mean, whether it's good, bad, if it's a conversation starter, like I think that as a poet, we're giving this time on the stage, which is like a platform. And like you said, we can use our words to help build someone up or use our words to help tear people down. And I know you've been in plenty of rooms and open mics night where they're
Mhm.
poets and you think like they're an awesome and dynamic writer, but at the end of the day, what did I really get from your piece? How, like, when I go home and ponder, what am I going to ponder on anything you said? And I love artists, and I tend to gravitate towards artists that is going to help challenge me in some way, help change the way I'm
Definitely.
thinking. And I feel as though that is what you're doing with the piece that you just
Thank you. That means so
performed
much
for
to me. Cause
us.
that's I think the same way, you know. I'm like, what are they doing? Like, and it's always the pause with the rawest emotion. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You know, sometimes people, you know, sometimes you have pause, you know, that may, you know, just want to put words together to rhyme or click or sound, but it's like it's like dig deeper. You know what I mean?
Right.
Dig a little bit deeper and just say it, you know, speak your truth. And then um I found some powerful poets. Like there is just their whole stage performance, and I'm like, that's where I need to be. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So you saying that, I really, really appreciate that because as long as it's touching somebody, you know what I mean. As long as I'm getting across
Yeah.
to someone, that fuels me to keep going. It's like, you know, your passion and your purpose is working. You're moving forward in the right direction.
Yeah, you're moving for. I mean, listen, all you need is that will. And once you get
Yeah.
that will and you know, like, listen, this is what God want me to be doing. Like I feel the
Definitely.
connection. I'm touching people. You just need the training after that.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
it.
Yep.
If you like, you can't, like, you can teach praise stage presence, but you
Hmm.
can't teach having the right why. And it always, like,
Right.
my mentor and friend, ambition and poet, I don't know if you heard of him, but he always told me when I first told him that I wanted to start performing poetry, and he's like, don't listen to the crowds, because if you feed off of the crowds when they with you, all right, you're gonna be hyped. But then when they're not with you, you're gonna be completely devastated. And
Yes.
you're not going to be motivated to keep it pushing. But if you're focusing on your why and it's like, I really have this to get off my chest.
Yes.
I want to free something inside of me. And while I'm freeing something inside of me, it's going to help unleash something inside of someone else, because we don't know that part of us being free and part of our freedom is attached to someone else's freedom. Like our yes is attached to
Definitely.
someone else's freedom. Like it was certain topics I did not never wanted to write about because I'm like, that's my business. I don't want nobody to know my business. I don't want to be
Yeah.
out in the streets looking dumb. But at the same time, like I went through this and I'm writing this beautiful poetry, but for what reason? If I keep it to myself,
Right.
I'm wasting my gift. But as I begin to speak about being a former shy girl, it was people coming out the room where it's like, oh my God, I felt that way too. Oh my God, I felt this way too. So it's a whole bunch of
Yeah.
girls walking around
Hmm.
looking for someone to create that platform or create
Yeah.
that room for them to be able to, find their voice or talk about some of the ways that they can still be freed and not go in that corner. Because the thing about people who don't realize
Yeah.
about being a former shy girls is sometimes you find any excuse to run back into that corner.
Yep. It's your safety net, your comfort
It's your
zone.
safe
Yep.
haven. And it
Yes.
be warm, and it was like warm in there and nobody bothered you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's like, oh man. But you made a big point about speaking, like not wanting to perform certain pieces about certain topics. And but if you look at that, it's like that's the main things you struggle with the most emotionally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I meant, like when you said get on there and just speak your truth, you're going to touch somebody. Regardless if they give you that, oh, clap or not, you might just get that. And that doesn't mean they're not responding. It means it's responding internally.
Or you
You
might
got
get
them
that
choked
or you
up.
might get that DM.
Yeah. Yes. And it's like, so that's where I really want to go different with my poetry. Is like I don't want to
Mhm.
hold back. You know what I mean? I want to use all my experiences because that's when I really like I'm really writing. Like, I might be mad, or whatever, but it's like that's when it really comes out. So
Mhm.
definitely, if people stop holding back, also, we'll really see some talented poets. Definitely more.
Yes,
Definitely.
child, not just because, like, I don't get me wrong, I love a good lyricist,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I want you to tell me a story. I want you to tell
Yeah.
me about, I like, this is America. We love an underdog story. We love
Mm-hmm.
hearing someone, how did you triumph over something?
Mm-hmm.
If you're happy,
Definitely.
hey, just being a black person, just being a black woman in America, walking around happy, that's a triumph in and of itself, okay?
So powerful. We're so powerful. So powerful.
So, what is next for Poetic Peach? What can we look
Next,
forward to?
I'm currently working on a book, publishing a book. I'm currently
Oh,
working on
yay! We love books
that.
around here.
So I want to get into that. And I definitely want to travel more to different cities and perform.
Mm-hmm.
So get my name out there. I got my business cards.
Okay, she official. Follow her.
So I just want to get out there and start getting into using my poetry, also more like into a mentor type of way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I experience a lot of things, and like this is the way I feel more confident vocalizing my internal things. So using my poetry, so I definitely want to perform more,
Mm-hmm.
work on my stage performance, just see different cities, and just go see different talent. Just go bear witness and show my respects and support to other poets. So I just want to network.
Yes.
So get with other supporters, not always to perform, just to show my support and just be in the audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To keep
So
poetry
keep
alive in
poetry
these
alive.
streets. In this
Definitely, we
pandemic,
keeping
poetry
poetry
is
alive
not
in these
dead.
streets. We keeping it alive over here.
Yes. Thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with
Thank
me
you so much.
today. Thoroughly enjoy you. I know my audience thoroughly enjoyed you. Let them know where they can follow you.
You can find me on Facebook at Shaylisha Boyd. Also on Instagram is Poetic Peach. And I'm also on poetryvibe.com. That's poetryvibe.com, Poetic Peach, where you can also read some of my work. Okay. I'm also hosted, showed on YouTube under Voices in Power, where I have a performance that's put up there and published up there as well. So stick tuned. You're gonna see a lot more of me in 2020. I'm coming crazy. I'm coming in hot.
She's coming in hot. Hey. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
And
you
go
for
ahead and
having
enjoy
me.
your night. I wish you nothing but luck in the future. And I'll be looking out for your book waiting for
Thank
that to
you.
drop. Okay, because
Thank you.
I love poetry books. Okay, I
Thank
have my
you.
own collection of the
Yeah.
poets that I know that have written books, and I'm looking forward to adding you to my collection.
Thank you,
Okay,
sis. Thank you. God bless you, and thank you for this platform. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity.
of course.
Thank you for the support. Good night.
Night.